What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about how I found out I was pregnant last year. So I found out I was pregnant on June 3rd, 2018. I was 19 years old, and before I found out I was pregnant, I have my app. I track my period every month, so I just knew when it was coming, so I wouldn't be surprised. And then before I get my period, I also get cramps. Like, I would start cramping like 2 to 3 days before I started. So I knew, like, okay, your period's about to come, your period's about to come. So this time I was thinking, okay, my period's coming, everything's cool, everything's great, but it didn't come. It didn't come because I was pregnant and I didn't even know it. So my friend at the time, I think our periods were really close together. So I guess she was texting me like, oh, did you start your period yet? And I was like, no. She was like, you should take a test. I was like, no, I'm not pregnant. Like, I'm pretty sure I just skipped a period for the first time in my life, which is not like me. I've always, ever since I started getting my period, I never skipped, which was another red flag that I didn't pay any attention to. So my friend was like, you should take a test. You go get a test. And I was like, no, I'm not pregnant. There's no need for me to get a test. I'm not wasting my money on a pregnancy test, because pregnancy tests are expensive. If you know, you know. And I was not trying to waste my money for it to tell me no. So I was just like, no, whatever. That Thursday came, and I was like, I thought I was going to start because I was cramping, but I didn't start. So I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe it'll just start tomorrow. No big deal. My period app has been off before. So that Friday came, still nothing, no period, but I was still cramping, and then I was peeing a lot, but I was also drinking a lot more water at that time. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just because of that. Like, nothing out of the ordinary. I was like, maybe my period's just gonna be a few days late. Cool. So, oh, are you done? Are you done? Okay. So that Friday I was at work, nothing was happening, no period, no blood, no nothing. So I was like, okay, cool, no big deal. Then the weekend goes by, still nothing, and I'm just thinking, okay, well, something's up. Like, I've never been more than 2 days late for my period. So that Sunday we went to church, everything was good, like normal. We went to Popeyes to eat, and then we walked across the street to get me and my friend at the time walked across the street to get me a pregnancy test to take it. So we get the test. We went to CVS. We got the test. We went in the bathroom, and like, I guess I didn't have enough urine in my bladder. So the line came up like super faint. So I couldn't even tell what it was. So I had to buy another test, and then I had to wait until I get home so I could pee again. And when I got home, we waited a bit. I went in my bathroom and I peed on the stick, and it came up positive, clear as day. Clear as day, positive. And I was like, what in the world? What am I going to do? I'm 19. I was planning on going away to college that fall. I had my room picked out, my classes and everything. And I was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant with this little girl, and she's trying to get up. I was like, what in the world? What am I gonna do? I'm pregnant. I was not ready for no child, and I didn't even know how my parents would react, because I've had a pregnancy scare before and that they knew about, and that didn't go over good. So I was terrified. I don't even remember. I think I told my sister first. My room was in the basement in the house that we lived in. And so I went upstairs and told my sister, and she was immediately excited, which was great because she was the only one excited at the time. And then I told my mom. I was like, Mom, I gotta tell you something. She was like, you're pregnant. I was like, yeah. And she was like, she said that she knew that this was gonna happen, which was awful because I didn't want my mom to think that I would get pregnant so young. So my mom was like, all right, well, it is what it is. And then we waited to tell my dad, because my dad was outside with my brothers. They were taking down our trampoline because we were moving. And so my dad was outside. We didn't tell him until like later that night. And he was we were just like, oh, everything's cool, everything's normal. And then later on that night, we was like, I need to talk to you. And I couldn't even say it to my dad because, you know, I was just really disappointed in myself, and I knew my dad would be disappointed in me for getting pregnant so young and being, you know, I had school. I was so excited to go away to school that fall and be really by myself and really get to have that college experience. So I told I didn't even tell my dad. I put the pregnancy test, because I took 2 pregnancy tests. I put them on the bed, and he was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "It's a test." He was like, "But what is it for?" And I was like, "It's a test. It's a pregnancy test." He was like, "Okay." And because he thought I was joking. He thought it was a prank, because I've pranked them before and said that I was pregnant before, and so he thought it was just that. But my mom was like, "No, she's pregnant, like, for real." I mean, I was like, I think he was speechless. He was really speechless. He was like, "Okay, so who's the dad?" And I was like, "Okay, this is him." And then I don't even remember how the conversation went left, but I just ended up bawling my eyes out and leaving the room. Like, my brothers saw it and they didn't know at the time. And it was really embarrassing because they were like, "What is wrong with her? Why is she crying her eyes out?" And my parents were like, I didn't even talk to my parents for the rest of that night. And because we were all in shock, I was like, I cannot be pregnant. Like, what the heck? I cannot be pregnant. And I was still in disbelief for a while. I didn't even think, I was like, okay, like, is my period about to start? I really thought my period, did you just spit up? Wow. She just spit up. While I'm filming, thanks. Yeah. Yeah. All right, thanks. But where was I? Yeah, I was just like, I cannot be pregnant. Like, I was going away to school, to a university that I was so excited about, because I was finally able to, like, be by myself and have that college experience that I wanted. But that didn't happen. But it's okay. So the next day I had to work, and that morning my dad usually took me to work because we live like 5 minutes from my job. And that morning I was like, okay, I'm ready. He couldn't even like say anything to me. Like, he couldn't even look at me or speak to me. And I was really, really hurt. I was like, what the heck? Like, I was at work about to bawl my eyes out because he would not speak to me. And I was a PK, which is a preacher's kid. And I know it's very disappointing for a young, not just a preacher's kid, but just like a young lady to get pregnant at 19 and not be with the dad, and, you know, be in school and not even have your life figured out, or what you even want to do with your life figured out. So I understand why they're disappointed, but I was just like, that made me feel 10 times worse. Like, 10 times worse. Yeah. You want to talk? You want to talk? No, why are you getting so excited? Okay. So, yeah. Like, not anymore, but I felt really bad at that time. Just to be young and to have a baby so young. You know, I don't regret my baby, but I do wish I would have done it a different way. You know, I wish I would be like more stable and have my own place and my own stuff, be financially stable. But it's all good. I have the biggest blessing that I could ever ask for, and she's getting so excited. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Yep, I wouldn't regret it for a single thing in the world. I have the most beautiful baby in the whole wide world. Yeah. So that was how I found out I was pregnant at 19. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye. Say bye. Say bye.